welcome, Varun. Varun Sarin is a disputes resolution lawyer and heads the dispute resolution practice in his firm, Sarin Partners. Varun specializes in civil and criminal litigation, particularly the motor vehicle accident claims matters. He regularly appears before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, Delhi High Court, Bombay High Court, Allahabad High Court, Punjab and Haryana High Court, and Uttarakhand High Court, including all the district courts, tribunals of the National Capital Region of Delhi. And Varun and I have known each other for 32 years. We went to school together, and he's a very dear friend. He is, as I've mentioned, a lawyer. And today we're going to talk about how mental health challenges show up in his profession.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. I think mental health is a very important topic that most of us tend to just brush under the carpet. So it's important that we discuss this today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really started this podcast, is because there's so many people in different professions who think that this is something unique to them. Whereas, and this is why I've asked the same questions. I've asked like the same questions to everyone, because it's not. Everybody has maybe the situation is different, but the experience is very similar. Okay, so the first question is, what's the mental health challenge that shows up most in your line of work?
Well, Subuhi, if I can put it like this, we are in a very, I would say, an extremely competitive profession. It's very demanding. And I wouldn't just put it for the legal profession. I believe all professions have their own demands, and they are very competitive. But primarily, I'm in litigation. So, you have a lot of public appearances, and you have to handle a lot of cases on a day-to-day basis. So I feel what's the most challenging bit is being 100% each day, and the pressure to maintain the 100%. Uh, Perhaps, pressure might be too strong a word, but yeah, it's the consistency that is required, because after a certain point of time, people tend to have a sort of expectation that this is what you would probably deliver, in their matters. The clients uh, put in a lot of faith in the lawyers that they engage. The courts that you regularly appear before have a certain expectation from people who are regularly appearing, and so it's that being at that 100%, if I put it, always every day, that really sometimes does get to you. For me, I'm as good as my previous day's prep, if I can put it like that. There's a lot of study required, so you need to lot of long working hours, and I think there is another topic which people talk a lot about is work-life balance. Sometimes, and let me give you a very different perspective to it. Work-life balance, I'm totally for it, but sometimes that's a pressure. It's like I have to have a certain amount of hours for my personal life apart from my work life. And if I have a lot of work to take care of, I have a lot of responsibilities that I have to take care of that day. And I want that work life balance. That in itself, I feel that sometimes it's a pressure for me, because I need to be there for certain family events. I need to be there with friends. I need to travel out of Delhi, or apart from work. So, that sometimes it's probably a different take on it. A lot of people, say that you should have a healthy working hour, and I'm totally for it. But sometimes the demand is so much for, putting in that extra time in office, that you just feel the pressure that, yeah, I'm not getting the time to be at home, do things that really, you can cool down with. And that probably is another stress, I guess, at least personally. If I don't know what about others.
Because you're right, there is so much pressure on being, as you say, 100%, but then also 100% in every aspect of your life. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
When this kind of thing happens, how do you get through these challenges? Do you have a support system?
I feel that my family is been a big support. I have had the benefit of being a third generation lawyer. So, there is an inbuilt, system where people realize that, yeah, it does require long working hours. And I'm very thankful to my family, my wife, who just give me that unconditional support. I know it's very tough for them because there are times where you're not able to meet, dinners. You're not able to meet family people coming into town, or you have to go out for some social commitments. It's mostly her doing it, so it's tough. And with the kids, I have two kids, lovely kids, but you have their school and everything, which sometimes these events get a little tough for me to join. So yeah, I mean, it's the family's unconditional support. They silently just be with you, and that matters a lot. The other things is friends, because with friends and as Subuhi put it, we've been friends for almost more than 3 decades. You can just be yourself. So nobody judges you for what you are, what you do, what you intend to do the next day. It's just you're being friends for to each other, and there is no other motive or intention, and you can just be yourself. And colleagues, if I may put it, some of your very close colleagues, you can vent out work-wise, because you need to have those discussions at the end of the day, that yeah, today I did this, I did that, and where did I go wrong, and what could be a better approach or a strategy to go about it. So that's definitely there. And I've actually had the benefit of working with very good senior advocates, and who've been very, very supportive. And I have come across a lot of motivation that have been driven into me, and probably got me to where I am, and made me the lawyer that I have been. So it's actually I would say, a multi-pronged support system with the family, friends, with your colleagues, and with your seniors in the profession who help you out. So that's, I guess, my what I lean on, and I think that motivates me and pushes me to just be better each day.
And the main thing is like healthy. All of these are nice.
That's important. That's important.
Yeah.
See, if I put it like this, it does get to you at times. It's not always rosy. That you have to accept that, because sometimes it gets a bit too much for the other person. They are waiting constantly. They are expecting you to be at places which you tend to just cancel at the last moment. As I said, people who really matter to you, and you really matter to them, they kind of trying to ignore these things and give you the support. Probably if you have a healthy support system, it helps you to function better, and I think it works best for everyone. It's a best case scenario like that.
It's really cool that you've had this healthy support system and that you are also seeking out the healthy support. You are in a very demanding profession and you still have that system in place because you
Yeah.
have that. Essentially, the idea here is that you have that safety in your body, and so you seek out safety in others.
Just add to that. See, you when you are in this profession, clients come to you with problems, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you are expected to give solutions. So you tend to imbibe a lot of the issues there, the problems that are there. So you definitely need a support system at the end of the day. And because, there is a limit to what one could, deal with such things. You feel invincible, if I may put it like that, that, I can do it. I will always manage. But the sooner you realize that it's a good, healthy practice to share, try to, seek the advice, seek emotional help. It's important. And I think that really works out for everybody. So the sooner you get into it, the better it is, because it just gets a bit too much otherwise for anybody.
The question I have next is essentially, I know that there are, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier as well, but do you think that mental health challenges for you are different from somebody else who's practicing, who might be a different gender, different orientation, maybe caste, religion, or ability?
Subuhi, I did mention earlier, it's a very demanding profession. It's extremely competitive. So there is already a benchmark that one needs to achieve. And because if I can put it like that, in today's day and age, there are a lot of law schools and there are a lot of young professionals coming in because it's a highly sought after profession nowadays.
Yeah.
So obviously, one factor is that there's a lot of supply of lawyers, and perhaps the demand is not that much. So there is already the pressure if you put everybody at par to get those best placements, get the best opportunities. And then when you, as you rightly put, what about the challenges when it goes across gender, orientation, caste, religion, and so on? I think for them it's twofold because they literally have to fight the system itself because it's skewed in and not only talking about the legal profession in any field of work. There's a lot of everything is a lot of male centric, so
Mhm.
you tend to face these biases on a daily basis, and when you already are expected to achieve a certain benchmark, and then there is another added layer of stress that being from a female in the profession, or somebody with a different orientation, or let's say not from a very privileged background, so you have to probably make your mark more than the others, and that's an added layer. So it definitely shows across as a mental health challenge to these individuals who are not so well placed as others, because in itself uh, the first layer of the stress is enough. You really don't need that. So I think what should be there, that acceptance, because everybody who's passionate about this profession should be allowed to be themselves, and that it shouldn't matter what gender you are, what orientation you are. We are getting there, but yeah, it's a long way to go. Until we get there, it's that added stress, I feel. Definitely shows across.
Yeah, and as you rightly said, it is everywhere. It's not limited to I mean, it's not even limited to one space.
The problem, you might be a lawyer, but you might face that bias in another sphere of life. So you already are in a challenging thing. Perhaps you've been fortunate enough not to face that bias in your profession, but you can face it elsewhere. I mean, you could be in any situation. So I mean, it's very subjective to each one. So yeah, I wish that people don't have to face it. It's a reality we cannot really ignore. Uh, and let's hope that we can get to that where everybody is the starting point is the same for everyone.
And that's actually a lot tougher, even if you think about it. As you said, you're a third generation lawyer. I'm someone who's gotten into the mental health field, so that's like quite new. I don't think there's anybody else in my family, as far as I know, who's in the same space as me. But also then branching out on my own and doing this as like an entrepreneur, that has been really terrifying for me, especially because like there isn't anybody else that I know. And this is when, like,
Yeah.
because family knowledge is so important. Like you can actually be guided well, and it's not like because usually I think what happens is, usually if you see it in your family, you see the ups and you see the downs, or if you see it in your partner, you
Right.
see the ups and you see the downs. But when you see in somebody else performing, you see the ones who've made it, you see the ones who are
Mm,
sharing their good days, and so that can be
mm.
really disheartening as well. And I think that either pushes you further, that if that person can do it, so can I, or it kind of pushes you under, which is that why is it that I'm not being able to do it? Clearly it's possible.
As you rightly said, that this is something that you as a probably as a first generation in your family is doing it, and me as a third generation lawyer, I've had the fortune of And it's not about that, we sit at the dinner table and discuss
Yeah.
matters. It's that, I know that there is somebody I can always reach out to and who can give me this perspective. And that really helps. The other point that you brought up is very important, that, you know, uh, the support that is there, and family is very important. So at the end of the day, if you have that backing, you can do really well. Really well doesn't mean that you have to be a success. If a lot of people just put it like that, you made it for yourself, but you feel that you've done something that you wanted to really achieve. And in today's social media, a lot of people just show the brighter days, as you
Yeah.
rightly put it. They don't show the negative days. They've had their struggles. We only get to see the good side of things, and you get that pressure that perhaps why don't I have days like that? What one has to understand is that if you have the bad days, that's when you really appreciate the good days. So
That's true.
if you don't have that, I mean, and that's life. You can't have all good things always. So I guess you get the taste of the good days once you taste the bad days. So that's important and keeps you grounded.
Also, the bad days also teach you a lot that, the good days you might take for granted.
Yeah,
Um,
true, true. They in fact teach you a lot, much more than the good days,
yeah.
because where you went wrong. If you analyze yourself, where you went wrong, what you really need to do to get back, you know, if you take that perspective, it's something that really sorts out a lot of things.
Yeah. And that's something like that's something that I'm learning to like I'm getting there. And it's been really interesting to kind of look back on life and think about it as a learning experience rather than anything else. So I think that's been great. So now, the question that I want to ask you, as someone who's been practicing, you have your own firm. Um, how do you show up for other people? And not of course, as you said, like other people who clients who come to you as well, but also maybe new lawyers. I know that you're very, very generous with your time, because anytime I have any issues regarding any kind of dispute, I always just give you a call, and I know you always answer. But what about others?
Uh, See, uh, if I can put it like this, you need to have a lot of empathy with your people who approach you. See, when clients come to you, they have a certain faith that I would be able to give some sort of a solution to their problems. One needs to empathize with them. See, we handle a lot of matters on a daily basis, but you have to see it from the perspective of the client, that perhaps that's the only case that they would probably be fighting in their life, and it would probably mean everything to them. So once you understand that, it gets very important to for them, to get that support. A lot of times I feel clients come in, and apart from having a meeting for the next day's hearing, they want to be reassured that they're going on the right track, they're doing the right thing, and they're getting the right legal guidance. They need that support. And one is expected to at least give that comfort to them. So that is something you need to really empathize. Another very important aspect is that, as put it, that you call, and I always take your call. So I mean, like, people who really matter, you have to be available for them. It's a profession where today, there was a time where people could avoid litigation, could avoid courts, but today's day and age, you tend to come across a legal problem every now and then. So if you're there for others, it's gets easier for them. Sometimes the right advice just nips the problem in the bud, and you really don't have to go to long drawn procedures. So if you're there for your friends, definitely the family knows that you're in the profession, so they can obviously approach you. But if the friends can reach out to you and they can discuss a lot of things in confidence, because we have a lot of it could be very personal matters, it could be very matters that they don't want to do it publicly. So I guess that support is definitely there. And one very important thing I feel is supporting the freshers and the juniors in this profession, because if you don't give them the right environment to foster growth and be kind to people, be empathize with them. If that's not the environment you're providing, then they will not be able to give that ahead, because that's something that they are growing up with. They see and they imbibe what's around them, and it has to be a very very healthy office environment as well. So because they are already under working under a lot of stress for the matters, if they have a healthy an environment which is conducive for them to at least concentrate on the work and not having to think about other things, that when they are at a stage where they can help out the next generation or help out the clients, it's something that it becomes a culture. So it's important to foster that, to promote it, and at least give them that environment that they can function, because you're very new, you don't know what happens, how to go about things. So apart from learning, trying to grow in this field, they need that support, and one should, I think, provide it to them, because they will turn out to be not only good lawyers but better human beings, I believe.
Wish more people thought like that, like especially about the healthy, safe office environments, because then you can actually grow. You're fostering the future. What helps you keep your mental health in check now?
Uh, that that's actually a very tough one, but uh, what you really need to understand is boundaries, I think. See, well, you can be available for all people. You can give the support that they require, they need from you. But there's also a you time, which is very important. And as a matter of, as a rule, never turn off my mobile phone. Because you might have somebody in an emergency. We are in litigation, so there could be some things come up. But just because your mobile is never switched off doesn't mean that you will take general calls at the middle of the night. So it's all about stressing on the boundaries, and people respect it. It's about how much you let on, uh, and if people understand that, and mostly they do in today's day and age, you don't need to turn off your mobile. You don't need to put it on silent for somebody to respect that boundary. And we have long working hours. There are days where you probably get up from office, have a quick dinner, come back to work. So you anyway have those long hours, and they could be weekends. You're probably working on a Friday, goes on a Saturday, Sunday, because something is on coming up on Monday. What do you do then? It's all about making those moments more of exceptions than the rule. It's not like, I'm available 24/7, 365 days a year. It's about those boundaries. It's about having your own time. It's about time with your family, with your friends, probably, stepping out with colleagues, meeting your seniors in a non-work environment. That's important, because if you don't do that, uh, it just gets too tough, because you feel mentally tired. If you're not clear-headed the next day, it affects how you present yourself, because there's a lot of, when you appear in the courts, you have to be quick on your feet. You have to have answers to a lot of the queries that is put to you. If you're not thinking clearly, if you're not thinking right, and you have not been able to get the break that you really wanted the previous day, perhaps you may not be able to do it over a long period of time. I mean, there could be times where you could be busy for 2 weeks in a row, You could have a very stressful, I tend to have very heavy days before vacations because there's a lot of
Mhm.
filings happening. There is the pressure that I try and have a relatively freer, uh, vacation time. So you need to have those boundaries set apart, and that's how you keep your mental health in check. Uh, it's just, I think, taking a break. That's important, and doing things that probably uh, let you, be yourself apart from work, and I think that keeps everything in check, I guess.
Really incredibly insightful answers from you. Because, and I mean, it especially as somebody who's, as you said, for one person, for you, it is you have many cases. But for another person, this could be like the only thing that they do in their lives, and it's incredibly stressful. It's it's anxiety provoking. It's scary, and yeah, like not saying that this responsibility is my to do. I mean, like is absolutely mine, but saying that my responsibility is equally important is great. Like
Right.
responsibility to self. What's something you wish that other people entering the field of law knew about protecting their mental health?
The other day I read a very interesting take on work culture, and I don't know if I can recall the correct what exactly was written, but it was to the effect that being busy is not something to be proud of.
Yeah.
It's not some achievement or some award that you've got. It's not some badge of honor, if I can put it like that. Then working to the extent that you have a burnout, that is not doesn't show your level of commitment. It's not an indicator of your passion, if I can put it like that. So uh, what you need to really I guess put into perspective is that uh, you have to have that balance, and simply because amongst your colleagues you claim that I'm working 7 days a week and I don't have time to do my personal things, and I don't have time to step out. I can't go for vacations because not because I can't, but I don't have the time. That doesn't really foster a very healthy mental view or a environment that you want to set up for you and your immediate family. So people entering this field need to understand that uh, maintaining that healthy balance is important. Do the things that really work out for you, and it requires a lot of commitment. It's demanding, there's no doubt about it. And as I said, there are a lot of lawyers now coming in, so you need to be above the mark to make your presence felt and make something for yourself. So it's not about stepping away from work, but not just be in it for the sake of it. Actually want to do it, and but yeah, keep that time out for yourself. That's important. And remind yourself, that why are you in this profession, and also remind yourself there is something beyond it as well. There is your family time, there is your time to do your own things. Be smart about your work. We have files which run into 20, 30 files per matter, and probably you have just a couple of hours to go through it. So if you don't do work smartly, you'll probably be at it the whole night, and still not be managed to go about it. So you have to plan it out better so that you have time to do other things as well. So that's something people entering should understand, because they have that initially they're all gung ho about it, and I can do anything, and I can put in those long hours and everything. But as I said, start putting those boundaries from day one. It's important not only for you, for others who work with you, to understand that yes, this is how we expect him to function, and this is how, and doesn't really cut down on the quality of work, if I may put it like that, because that's expected. You can't tell your client that, because I had to take a break, so I couldn't be prepared. That doesn't work out, I mean, and you can't appear in the court and say that, I was on off, so I couldn't really read the file. That doesn't, help anybody. That's not what I'm getting at. But the point is to be smart about it and do it from day one. Because if you just get into that thing that, no, no, I need to put in those many hours, irrespective of what there is, it's very difficult to get out of it. So you need to have that awareness from day one, I think.
And there's something that you touched upon, which has been a common thread in the other recordings that I've done as well, the other people that I've spoken to, which is
Right.
that you have to remember your purpose, because that's what's going to keep you coming back. Boundaries and purpose. So, what is one thing that you do when things get hard?
Things do get hard. It's not an exception. You have those really demanding, hard days. One really needs to pause and understand that uh, you can't have success every day,
Hmm.
right? While there's a pressure, as I put it, earlier, to be 100% and remain at that 100%, but you still have those hard days. You can expect a certain outcome, but that doesn't happen. You can expect a turn of events, it goes to the opposite. So, maybe I'm repeating myself, you have to understand what the whole purpose of being in the profession is. It's important for people to understand that perhaps it's not about winning every time. It's about getting that solution, getting the justice that your clients expect, what they really need. And if it gets hard, you pause, you analyze, and you get back and go out again. Go more determined the next day. I think that's what just works for me. Because if that purpose is not with you, and you just take it for the fact that, okay, fine, I've had a bad day, let's see, we deal with another matter and see. But that's not what the clients want. They Perhaps you can have a hard day one day, but then you need to get them that next time. So you need to realign your strategy. You need to get up and go get it done. So I guess that's what you need to understand. Just silently, I guess, pause for a moment, and then probably things just work out themselves, and go at it all over again. I guess that's my take on it, how to handle the hard days. And they definitely come very often. And that's true for anybody. Someone says that, I just have the cushy times, and, things don't go hard, and I manage. I think they're just showing the rosy picture of things. They can be, and it's not only about hard days professionally. You can have a hard day personally, but yet you are expected to have a good day professionally. You can have a hard day, the other way around, and then you're expected to be just perfect on a personal level. So how do you do it? You just repurpose yourself. You just understand that yes, it does happen. It's life. You take a fall, you get up, you brush yourself, and you move ahead. So both professionally, personally, you do have your hard days, but I mean, just don't have to, I guess, give up. That's important.
Yeah, I think this is really important. Like this pause, shift of perspective, coming back and
Yeah.
actually looking back when
Yeah.
there have been good days, there have been bad days, but I think really importantly also that you have to keep coming back to, because and as we were discussing earlier, one one matter, or like with one client, it might go on for 2 to 3 years, even more than that sometimes. So
Right.
that sounds like that sounds like a lot. How is it that you come back with the same vigor or interest, or for everything, for a case that's been going on for like if you're on the third year of the same case, how do you come back with
Right.
the same enthusiasm?
Well, see, ultimately, this is what we do. So it's not a choice. And if you're not getting the results that you are expected to get, obviously, that doesn't, work out well for you as well as the client, especially for the client, because, as I said, sometimes it is the only litigation that they would be involved in their life. So I guess the motivation is to give them that relief, and probably, I said, so it's not about just winning, it's about getting the justice, because if you win many years down the line, that it may not be justice for the client, because this is not what they were looking at in the long term perspective. So uh, why you were here in the first place, and as I said earlier, uh, and I at least try and be consistent. I like to be well prepared for the next day's hearings, and you can't base yourself on I did read it a couple of months back, so I'll be as good at it as the next day. So yes, the preparation and the hard work is definitely required, but how do you have that zeal to get into it? I think it's doing the work, knowing that it's very important, but also when you have your own personal time to perhaps just take it off by watching your favorite show. I mean, as simple as that, or you step out for a good meal with the family, with friends. So it's basically, it's a system where you kind of recharge, right? So if I myself are not well recharged, or I don't have a very relaxed mind, I can't come back to it with all the vigor and the zeal that I'm required to be at, because uh, the other side is also represented by a lawyer. So what if they are more well prepared than I am? So I can't let that situation, happen, because that's counterproductive to what my client really needs. So I guess it's just taking the time off, doing probably the stuff that really indulge in hobbies, read your favorite book, I guess. I don't know, I mean, like, what works for everyone, it's very different. Somebody could probably just be doing gardening, somebody could play with their pets, somebody could just have some time with their kids. You just take them here and there, and then just come back to it, understand. And I think you just summed it up in thing, the purpose of what the whole thing is. Boundaries and purpose, I think that's one of the most two important words that we probably repeated ourselves, but that's important. So the boundaries help you to give that time to yourself and to people who matter, and to recharge and come back, and then understand what the whole purpose of it was. And like when I was very young into the profession, there were times where I was very stressed out about, I have so many draftings to do, I have so many hearings to prepare for, how do I do it? So my father was he's a lawyer himself, so he was very apt in telling me that, see, Varun, we can't finish all our work in a day, right? If we did, we wouldn't have work the next day. So you just have to pace it out. You can't finish everything in a day, and that is why you have time between hearings, because you need to prepare, you need to give the time out, you need the research, and therefore there's only a certain extent that you could do. You might have the support of good juniors, you might have the good support of a good staff who can do a lot of your work, but ultimately, I guess you have to just pace it out. And that ways, if you know that I have 10 things to do and I can do over a period of time, you would be better at them, because you've allocated that quality time to them, and tried and achieved a result which was really important to the client. And when I say that as a lawyer, you are actually on a pedestal where you are in a position to achieve some change for your client, for people who require legal help. It actually is very satisfying at the end of the day. If I could, sometimes probably what you professionally charge the client, what professional satisfaction you have when you're able to achieve what they really wanted is so much more than what you would, money is important. I mean, but it's one of the things. If you don't have satisfaction from what you achieve, then you won't have the zeal to do that the next day. So satisfaction is very important. It matters at the end of the day that you are doing what you love to do, and just do it smartly, because works are never going to reduce. The expectations are going to be sky high always, and if you can't really come back each day with what is really required, then it doesn't work out for anybody. So I guess you have to have a very fine balance. I think it's easier said than done. It's difficult to achieve it. I maybe making it sound very easy, and for somebody who hears this will think that, oh, is it that simple? It's not. It's tough, but I guess if you are able to analyze, pause, and understand that how to go about it, speak to people. There is no shame in seeking help, emotionally, legally, mentally. It's very important.
I mean, really great insights, such good practical tips. And yeah, I mean, like the humility with which you've given, and the openness with which you've spoken to me today, I really appreciate all of that. I
Thank
completely
you so much.
agree with all of it as well. Like, there is so much nourishment that comes from being able to help somebody that requires that help. And also, we are incredibly fortunate to have, a group of friends and a group of people that we have sought
Mm,
to maintain the relationship with. Like,
right,
I
right.
want to add that. This is it's so interesting that to be a better lawyer, your advice has been to create boundaries, to maintain your personal relationships and your hobbies, or your time off. And that's
Yeah.
so incredible. Amazing. So thank you so much, Varun.
Most welcome, Subuhi. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope I've been able to answer the questions that you put to me.